Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can edit this portrait step by step. So first thing first, as you can see, this portrait needs to be clean. So I'm just gonna go click clean and play. After I click clean and play, as you can see, we have two different layers. One of them is clean and one of them is black and white. Black and white is a helping layer which helps us to see more details. So we're gonna turn off this time because as you can see we have so much details that we can see. And for cleaning, I'm using three different tools. I'm using spot healing brush and patch tool. So I'm just gonna start working with spot healing brush. For Retouch, I'm using a vacuum tools pro. I'm not using a mice or a mouse because when you work with a pen tablet you can work faster, so I highly recommend you guys to get one because it will make your workflow faster. And as you can see, this portrait doesn't have that much details because of how it's shot. I mean, not like my previous tutorials I made with beauty portraits. So this one is gonna be faster because of the details of this portrait. If you want to get this raw file, check my Telegram channel, link down below, and you can find it down there in the link. So if you want to start working step by step with me, you can free download this raw file and start working and follow my steps, because this is how you can learn how to retouch just like me. You can leave it like this, I guess. I think it's good enough, but let's just clean this part too. Don't forget that cleaning is a very important part when you start retouching, especially portraits, because when you do the work of cleaning first, you don't have to worry about later about frequency separation, or dodge and burn, depends on the technique that you're using for retouch. In this tutorial, we're going to use two techniques, uh, frequency separation and dodge and burn. I combine both of them because the results are really amazing. Also, let me know about my English. If I am understandable, please leave some comments about my English. If I am understandable, also leave some comments about my retouching tutorials if they are helpful for you guys. If you want to get my actions and the color grade that we are going to use today, you have the links down below. Let's just check before and after, and I think it's good. Click Control and hold it and click on background, click here and merge layers. Delete this black and white because we are not gonna need this. Let's just check before and after. I think it's looking good. Now go to frequency separation plus and click play. Let's just check the right radius about this portrait. Always start from 0, zoom in into the details of your portrait and start sliding right until they get disappeared, as you can see here on the nose. And I think 7 or 8 will be good. I think 7 is okay. Just click 7 and click play. Open the group of frequency separation. Remove that from the high frequency because we are gonna work on two different layers. One of them is low frequency and the other one is high frequency. Low frequency means for the color, and the high frequency is for the texture. In low frequency, I'm gonna use mixer brush. For the wet, I'm going by 10, load by 20, mix by 50, and for the flow, I'm gonna go by 33. And after we are done with the settings of mixer brush, we are gonna start mixing the skin tones of this portrait. Just be careful, because if you overdo this process, your portrait is not gonna look that good. I'm talking about if you remove the highlights or the shadows and you mix the skin tones that bad, so the portrait is not gonna look good by the end. So be careful on this process. As I said before about Wacom Tools Pro, I would highly suggest you for Retouch, because if you're using a mice, you're not gonna get the results, because you know, if you work with a pen, it's more easier. Also, about my retouching actions that I'm using right now, you can find them on the links down below. The retouching action full pack, color grade white skin and color grade dark skin, they are in one pack. You can get them with the 50% off. The first 20 people who are gonna buy the retouching action full pack, it's with 50% off with a discount code. You can find it in the link down below. So don't forget to get my actions, because they are not that expensive. For example, if you want to retouch, I have tutorials about beauty retouch, about Retouching Academy, and Retouch Pro from Retouch Zone. I have tutorials for both of them. Just check my channel and you can find the tutorials. As you can see before and after what we've done so far, with frequency separation and only working on the low, which means the color. Let's just check before and after, and I think it's looking really amazing. Now it's time for high frequency. In the high frequency, we're gonna use clone stamp tool with a 100 opacity and 100 flow. So you're just gonna copy with the Alt key and paste. I'm just gonna remove the hair from this part. As you can see, I'm using clone stamp tool for cleaning this part. This part is shown only on the high frequency or in the texture. So if we have removed the hair in the cleaning part, we wouldn't be struggling right now about this. As I said before, cleaning is very important part of retouching, because there are people that only clean their portraits, they don't do retouch. So I would highly suggest you to learn about cleaning, because the cleaning process is a very important when you want to post your pictures on social media, and you will still look professional with your portraits or your photography about anything. So always check your pictures before you post on social media. You always have to check them for if they want something to clean or to change something. Depends on the style that you are working. My channel is more about beauty retouch, about portraits. So if you are not into portraits or beauty retouch or headshots close up, um, I would suggest to check some new tutorials about your photography side. That, for example, if you are into nature, indoor pictures, about anything else but portraits. As you can see, we have this part of texture which is looking really bad. So I'm just gonna add this digital skin texture, click here and click play, and with a brush of 100 we are gonna paint on this part. So we are gonna add some texture. As you can see, it's too much, so I'm just gonna reduce this by 34, I guess. Let's just check before and after. I think it needs a little bit more, so it's okay, I guess, for this. I'm just gonna use again the mixer brush here because it needs a little bit more cleaning here, and click on mixer brush. Sorry, I just clicked on brush and start working again on this part because it needs a little bit more touch. Let's just check if it's okay. Let's just zoom out, check before and after. I think it's looking good. Add this texture, check before and after this entire process, and yeah, I think it's good. And I think that we are done with frequency separation, and now it's time for dodge and burn. So I'm just gonna click in dodge and burn with a brush of 10% and flow about 50. I'm gonna start dodging. So for this part, I'm gonna click play on black and white help player, which is gonna help us for dodge and burn. So I'm just gonna start dodging the highlight parts. Let's just check before and after if we are doing anything or not. As you can see, we are doing something, because sometimes when you work with a lower brush, there are not much difference. So be careful when you on your brush settings. Let's just turn off this black and white because sometimes we need and sometimes we don't. I'm just gonna dodge the eyes. This part. Let's just zoom out. And yeah, it's starting to look great. I'm just gonna dodge the hair. We're gonna add some burn here on the hair, so start working with the burn on this part of the hair. Don't forget to burn the cheeks because the portrait is gonna look more better when you do this. I mean, like, without dodge and burn, it's looking flat. With dodge and burn, it's gonna look amazing. Let's just check before and after. With a burn, with a dodge, and yeah, it's looking really amazing. We're just gonna add some burn here on the eyebrows. A little bit here. Let's just check before and after. And yeah, I think it's looking really nice. And I think that we are done with dodge and burn. So I'm gonna add some changes for the eyes. I'm just gonna click on eyes plus all in and click continue till it's done. Just gonna zoom in. This remove veins is for removing the veins and cleaning this white of the eyes, but I'm not gonna work on this time because there is no need. And this one is brightening, This one is helping us to brighten the whites just a little bit. Always turn down the opacity of this, because when it's too much, it will not look that good. And now it's time for eyeball lightening. Add some light here on the eyeball. Don't forget both eyes. And now for iris contour, we're gonna add some contour to the eyes. This works fine for the eyelashes too, so don't worry. You can add some contour. This is more like a black, darker adjustment. Let's just check before and after, and I think it's looking amazing. The eyeball is too much, just lower a little bit. Brightening, it's okay, just a little bit down. And let's just check before and after the eye plus process, and I think it's looking really nice. Just gonna lower this part, and I'm gonna add some rosy lips and cheeks. I'm just gonna start with rosy lips. With a brush of 100% of opacity and flow, I'm just gonna paint the lips with this kind of lipstick color. And I think they're looking good, but always you have to lower the opacity of the adjustment into 25, I guess, and I'm gonna add two empty layers. For the normal blending mode, I'm gonna turn it into multiply, and this one into screen. Copy the color of the lips, and with a brush of 10%, I'm just gonna add some light or the dodge into the lips. So I would make them look better with highlight and shadows. And now for the multiply as a burn or the shadows. Let's just zoom out, and this one was screen. As you can see, it's too much, and go by 25, I guess. Let's just check before and after. Yeah, it's looking good. And this one was burn. It's looking really nice. Check before and after. Yeah, it's good. And click shift and click here and make this a group. Rename the group lips. Let's just check before and after. Yeah, it's looking good, but it's kind of too much. I'm just gonna lower the opacity by 68, and I'm gonna reduce this rosy lips because I think it's a little bit too much. It's gonna go by 20. Check before and after. And yeah, I think it's looking amazing, except this part of the burn, and I think it's a little bit too much. So I'm just gonna remove this with a black brush from here, because it's, yeah, now it's looking really nice. This part of the nose is looking amazing. As you can see, we have the texture, and now I think it's done. We are done with retouching, and I'm gonna start with the color grade. So let's just make a copy from the background, hold shift and click here and make a group, rename the group Retouch, and duplicate the Retouch group. Merge this group by creating simply just one layer. As you can see before and after this entire process, it's looking really amazing. And now it's time for color grade. So for color grade, you have to have only one layer in your entire layer. So I'm just gonna hold Control and A, make a selection of entire this image, and Control C for copy. Go to File, New, and create this document, another, and Control V for, and click Control again and merge the layers into one, which is a background layer. Now go check the color grade white skin that you have downloaded from my Gumroad account and click play until you find your best color grading. You can check one by one, and I'm just gonna mix two of them. I think this one is good, so I'm just gonna drag and drop this entire group into the original file and look for another color grade. That one was great, but not for this particular portrait. So I'm just gonna find another color grade group, and this one is looking really amazing, as you can see so far. But let me check the other color grades. Oops, sorry. Click play. This one is looking amazing. Yeah, this one is definitely our color grade. I'm just gonna start working on this, sorry, on this one first. As you can see, I have to reduce some of the layers because it's too much, obviously. So I'm just gonna go one by one and reduce the opacity of each adjustment layer and till I find the perfect color grade. You have to check each one of the adjustments until you get your best color grade results, because this is how you're gonna get the work with the color grade of my actions. And I think that these two color grades are gonna fit together and it will start looking great. Just gonna leave this on top because it's a selective color only for the blacks. I'm just gonna leave it right there, and this one is the main color grade function. As you can see, I think it's looking really amazing. So I have to go one by one of each adjustment layer before I decide about my color grades. As you can see, this one is amazing too. Let's just check before and after. Yeah, it's looking incredible, amazing. I'm just gonna add a little bit more adjustments. So I'm just gonna go to color balance, go to highlights and make them into yellow, into red, something like that, because this portrait is gonna turn amazing. I'm just gonna duplicate this retouch, hold shift and click here and make this group, rename this color grade, duplicate this color grade group, turn off this one and merge this group into one single layer, as you can see before and after with the color grade. And let's just check entire process. This is before and this is after.